up the creek this morning, and it's pretty near the tail end of this season. We're pretty much done, but I had the chance all morning out, so I thought I'll come up here and give it a quick cast, see if I can't get sort of steal a late fish, you know. So I'm going to take a wee look at this, put the flea down here. I'm going to start on a sort of black and silver tube on an intermediate, I think, and then I'll sort of work from there. I don't know what the solution is, and it may be a floater and a couple of doubles would be better today. But as you can see, the river's running at a good height, so there's always a chance. I'm going to make my way up. I should really go down. I mean, there'll be very few fishing today. I would have the place to myself, but I like to go up, you know. So let's sort ourselves out, and then we'll take a run down this and see if I can't move a fish. So getting kicked off this morning, my plan isn't to spend too long anywhere, just to keep bouncing on up the river. Try different things, see if different retrieves and stuff, see if I can move a fish. There are certainly fish in the river, but of course that's not the same as getting them on the line. It's a fantastic morning though. It was a lovely clear night, but as you can see by the dark clouds, well, maybe you can't, but this wee band of rain came in just like half an hour ago, and we had a bit of torrential rain just for a few minutes, and now it seems to be clearing up again. I think we're going to get the bright sun as the day goes on, so that will certainly not help us, but we'll make the best of what we've got. And it would be nice to get a nice day out without getting wet as well, so I suppose there's always that side to it, you know. Sometimes a nice autumn day with a bit of sun is like more important than the right conditions for the fishing, you know, just to get a nice day out. I think the wind's to get up as the day goes on as well, which is unfortunate because, you know, we've good water, so we don't really need the wind, and it might make the casting a bit difficult as the day goes on, but we've got what we've got again. It's just the way it goes, you know. Up onto the peat stack pool now. Wind will probably come to our face on this one as the day goes on, so might as well give it a run down now. Again, there's almost always a fish on the top of this, but oh, I hooked the vegetation behind me. It's like lazy casting. There's always a fish in this, or almost always a fish in the top of this. So it's just a case of waking it up, encouraging it to give the fly a wee tweak. Airplane appeared out of nowhere. So I think it's time for me to move on up the river. I'm not half awake yet. I'm not doing very well with the casting. I hear you demanding to hear what condition the falls pool's in today, and I have nearly reached it, so you can see for yourself. We'll take a wee look. Looks in great condition. Oh, look at that, fantastic, you know. Yeah. Plenty water in there. Ideal height in the river. You can't beat that, eh? A high quality falls pool if ever there was one. So hopefully that bodes well for as the day goes on, and it's lovely to see it with decent water in it, you know. That'll give us a wee chance maybe. And we'll go up now past the wee seat. You can come here, sit and have your lunch, and you can't beat it. So I would thoroughly recommend it as a spot for lunch. But I'm gonna bounce on up the river and see if I can't find a spot where there's a wee salmon looking for lunch as well. Up to the top of the bothy now with the big tube on still. It's not that big, but it's big compared to the normal doubles, I guess, would be the way to look at it. And heavy as well. And again, I'm going to come down this fairly quickly. No What I might do is come down it with the tube and then change to a normal double and come down it with the double on the intermediate, just see if that does me any business, you know, something bright maybe. And sometimes in this height of water, the fish move a wee bit further down this, but I mean, there's usually fish lying the whole way down it in the various deep holes, but in terms of fish that you're going to catch, you know. So we're not having a high degree of success, so it's a there. I think it's time to walk some more. This doesn't look super successful. But I might change to like a brighter double, something orange or red, and try it down here just quickly, basically just like I've done with the tube, and see if it does me any business. Though, as you can see, the sun's about to come over those clouds up there, you see them? And that might lead to me getting sun shining up my pool. And that's not as good, but sometimes the wee change helps, I find. So I'm going to change that double and go down this again, just with something orange or red or something. So I've changed fly to one of John McLean's Calvin shrimps. I think it's a Calvin shrimp. John, as you know, I've been using his flies recently, ties great flies. And he's from here in Lewis, not too far from where I'm standing at the minute. So he ties great flies for the loch fisher, for trout, and also for the salmon angler. So he's well worth a word if you're looking to fly. But I put a single on usually, I don't know, usually I would have 2 flies on, but I've just got the 1 fly. Fly is actually a double, but I just have the one on the leader at the minute because I'm just using the same leaders I had on for the tube fly. So just to make the change quick, because I'm just sort of going to beat down here in a matter of a few casts in a few minutes, you know. And as you can see, I've now got the sun, which is lovely, but probably puts an end to the fishing. Forecast is for sort of sun and maybe cloudy periods as well today, so let's hope we get more of the cloud and less of the sun. But if we get the sun, we'll just make the best of it and enjoy the day out, you know. Well, that wasn't very neat. Not doing well this morning. As you can maybe hear by the noise, I'm almost fishing in the town at the minute, so I'm not very far out, you know. Which makes this great association water because it's so handy, you know, and handy for visitors if you want to come, give it a go. And as you can see, I mean, this is the first good weather we've had all season, and it's not exactly overrun with people. I mean, people are catching fish. It's not like the river's empty, which is why there's nobody here. It's just that I'm not catching them. But I had 3 the other day, but haven't done so well since. And it's just, sometimes I think there's an element of luck in it and being in the right place at the right time. But I'm the first to admit that I don't have much aptitude for this, and luck isn't the only thing, because there are some people who are a whole lot more lucky than I would ever be, which indicates to me that, you know, luck plays its part, but it doesn't always have anything to do with it. Well, what a glorious autumn morning. This might be a day for, you know, drinking tea and eating bananas rather than fishing, I'm going to suggest. Right, time to start walking on up, I think, because I've given this well, 2 quick runs down, not exactly a hammering, but, you know, I've given it a good chance, I think. Different flies, different depths, and even a variety of retrieves from almost dead drift to quite fast. So I'm not sure there's anybody in here that I'm going to waken up this morning. Maybe all lying in after a party last night. So, up a bit further. Dropped them. What a shame. It's quite a gentle take, very slow. And it was almost like he had hold of the tail of the fly and just left go of it again. So, at least I moved something, I suppose, but drop it just below Anton's sign. Anton was a regular angler, very active in the club here and whatnot. And he fished a lot. He was also a very clever man, to be honest. I don't understand what he did, such was the complexity of it, but it was something to do with biomedical research, I think. And all I can say is he was so clever that even if he had told me what he did, I wouldn't have known, you know. But he spent a lot of time here and has got a pool named after him now. He died a few years back. And a big loss to fishing in the Hebrides, you know. So Anton's now got his own pool, and I hope he looks down on us all and gives us a helping hand, because I think I'm going to need it. step or two. As you can see, this can be a wee bit swampy here, so it's worth being careful. Oh boy. Well, he's acrobatic, aerobatic. Don't remember which. Wonder if he foul hooked. Don't know. He seems to be doing all right. Just all the aerobatics or acrobatics. No. That's a strong fish for not a big fish, you know. Maybe it's a sea trout. Dear, I wonder can we get him in here without touching him? I think he's foul hooked under the chin. Gotta say, oh, off he goes. I'm pretty certain he was foul hooked under the chin. Just I was trying to see if I could get him in there. Onto that wee wet bit to land him without touching him. But I'm pretty certain that fish was foul hooked, like under the chin. So Anton did look down on us, and for a bit of a laugh, he had me foul hooking a salmon that I lost. I've got the cup of tea on the go, and the bananas here beside me, just for emergencies, you know, in case I need extra potassium. As you might have noticed, I've just lost a salmon. To be honest, I think it was foul hooked. I think it was hooked under the chin. But what makes it funny is that I was fishing Anton's pool, and Anton died a few years back, and I was just commenting that I hope he looks down on me and gets me a fish. When I hooked a fish, but Anton had the last laugh and the fish didn't come to the bank. I kind of, instead of netting it, I thought I might be able to get it up over the bank because the bank was a wee bit flooded, just I didn't want to touch it, you know, and away it went. But like I say, I'm certain it was foul hooked, so I'm not too worried. But Anton got the last laugh, which I think's great, you know. So I'm going to keep working up the river. What a glorious day. It's not a good day for salmon fishing, maybe, with the bright sun. There's a wee cloud coming. But what a glorious day, glorious autumn day it is to be out, you know. Can't beat it with a big stick. And a cup of tea as well, what's not to like? So I've got the shades on and the hat, and I can still see pretty much next to nothing. So if you see anything, let me know. Leave a comment. I'm still fishing a single fly. I haven't changed up to 2 yet. Just basically I haven't bothered. But I'll get round to doing that in due course. Just I've been walking and drinking tea and stuff, you know. Chap must have priorities. Kind of difficult in this bright sun though, and if I don't like it, the fish certainly don't. So I'll maybe move down a wee bit here, see if I can't do some business a wee bit further down. I feel the wind getting up a bit, which is in the forecast, and I could do without the wind. I have enough water, if you like, not to be worried about the amount of wind I have, so I could do without the wind. I see a few spits of rain as well. Oh well. The deep rain. Yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to back up a bit here, because now I've got a wee bit of cloud on this pool. Yeah, it is a good pool. It's a pool I really like to fish, so I think I'll try and fish it down with a bit of cloud on it. Might just make a wee difference, you know. Though the cloud has come with a rather annoying wind. I wasn't expecting it to rain this heavily. Oh. Got a few seconds of cloud there, so I've changed pools once more. I'm still, despite my best intentions, on the single fly. Still on one of John McLean's Calvin shrimps, I believe it is. If you were a fish like, you'd think you'd have the good sense to grab my fly as it goes past here, because conditions look ideal for a bit of fly grabbing. try just working the fly a wee bit faster, see if that excites any interest. Seems not. And a wee ledgy bit. So, I'm going to sit down and have a bit of chocolate and have a think and see if I can come up with another plan. Because I'm pretty certain I'm covering fish, and I'm pretty certain they're seeing my fly, but for some reason they're not taking it, so I need another plan. So down the rock pool with the sink tip on now, and two flies, an orange one, a black and silver one basically, to see if any of that gives us a wee edge. I suppose the next step is a big heavy fly as well. With the wind, I tried to roll that out. It wasn't completely successful because of the high bank behind me. Bit of a cheat, maybe. Maybe a wee tangle on that last cast, but looks okay. I think what I'll do now is walk for the junction. This is part of the reason why I was sort of thinking I'll put a sinker on, because it's always a big deep hole, and certainly bits of it, it's just a lazy casting, bits of it, the sinker would be an advantage to having on the line, you know. Moving nothing down this, and really no sign of a fish, so not completely successful at all, but I think it's time to put a bit of a walk on. It's getting quite blustery, and I'm not always managing that well just at the minute. So I'm going to walk for the junction and give it a run down. I may not spend too long there, and then think about what I do next, because I'm pretty much all out of ideas. I've come up to the junction, fast sinker, an orange and a black double on, good water, bit of a wave, bright sun's a bit annoying, but can't have everything. Down another step, but we're pretty much as far down as we can probably fish on this side because of the weeds in there. So I'm trying to fish it, but then lift the fly so it doesn't end up in the weeds, you know. So, time now to nip down below the weeds and fish the top of the big stone. Oh, big pool. Probably a trout, to be honest, but And that's the rock, unfortunately. I'm off it. Because there's a fish, or will be a fish there on the other side of it. But covering it, as you can see, is not easy. So, bent her straight into hook probably. Oh, that's a chick. The orange thing feels okay. Almost does the black thing. So, try again. Aye. That's where I want to be. And nothing. Usually if you can land the flies in there, you know, the first cast gets you a big follow. I'm in the land of the thistles. Today, no casts getting me big anything. Right, down the rock pool with a sink tip and a big heavy tube, black and silver. Not a big tube, I suppose, but you know, by the time you add all the tails and stuff onto it, it's probably 1.5 inches long. Casting's a wee bit tricky in the wind, but what can I do? Right. I'm not overly inspired with hope though, because 2 anglers have just gone up the river past me who have changed to doubles, and they were on tubes and sink tips all morning. So I don't think sticking on a tube and a sinker is any sort of magical solution, you know. However, give this a wee fish down. And try and remain hopeful. But it's a lovely day to be out, you know. It's one of those cracking end of season days. And even though I'm not getting fish, it's like, it's great to be out and just feels like a real autumn day, you know. Looks like I'm gonna get a wee shower of rain again. They've been coming on and off now through the day, you know, but not too frequent. But the wind's got up and it's got really quite cold, you know. Oh. Oh man, this wasn't in my plan. No, it's going to be a fairly quick burst because I don't want to get wet. So here I am in my sun hat and shades, not catching fish in horizontal rain. Something just a bit surreal about it, you know. Right, I think that'll do me here, and I'll get walking down a bit further, because I'm just, well, I'm not doing well at finding the fish. A quick cast down Anton's and no success, so I think that'll do me for the day. Wind's a wee bit tricky here, but I think I'll just call it quits because it's just been one of those days and everything looks right. I should be getting fish, but I just can't get them, and I kind of feel like I'm just looking around me, but I kind of feel like I'm not going to get anything and that the day's done for me. So I'm just going to call it quits, head for the car, and go home and get some tea. Well, the casting isn't very neat, I can tell you, with a fast sinker and a heavy tube on a short line into, or well, across a fairly stiff breeze.